Russia's escalating strikes across the Black Sea are not random acts of pressure or episodic retaliation. They are the visible edges of a deliberate strategic pivot. By late 2025 and entering early 2026, Moscow has transformed the Black Sea from a contested logistics zone into a controlled pressure chamber, enforcing what can best be described as a hybrid blockade. One that chokes Ukraine's economy, disrupts NATO's southern periphery, and reshapes maritime warfare through drones, missiles, and deniability. The message became unmistakable on December 30th, 2025, as the Panamanian-flagged bulk carriers Emma-Chris III and Captain Karam approached Chornomorsk to load wheat. Russian Geran-2 drones struck with precision. Oil tanks were damaged. One sailor was wounded. Ukraine's naval forces confirmed the incident, but the strategic meaning extended far beyond two vessels. This was not an attack on Ukraine alone. It was a warning shot across the entire commercial Black Sea. Since 2024, more than 80 strikes have targeted port infrastructure, merchant shipping, and logistics hubs along Ukraine's southern coast. The weapons mix has been consistent and deliberate. Caliber cruise missiles launched from offshore platforms. Iskander ballistic missiles fired from mainland positions. Geran-2 and Geran-3 loitering munitions saturating air defenses. Iranian Mohair, 6 UAVs providing reconnaissance and strike coordination, systems previously spotted as far afield as Venezuela, now fully integrated into Russia's Black Sea architecture. This architecture does not exist in isolation. The systems shaping the Black Sea battlespace are part of a wider ecosystem of unmanned warfare that now extends well beyond Eastern Europe. What Russia employs operationally against Ukraine is increasingly mirrored in parallel theaters, revealing how combat-tested platforms migrate across regions and doctrines, carrying with them both tactical lessons and strategic consequences. On January 1, 2026, the uncensored news Telegram channel reported that the Venezuelan Air Force had begun deploying a fixed-wing intelligence, surveillance, target acquisition, and reconnaissance UAV at El Libertador Air Base. The aircraft is assessed to be an Iranian-made Mohair 6, a platform known for surveillance, reconnaissance, and target acquisition missions. This development is notable because the same UAV type has been previously imported by Russia and integrated into active combat operations, demonstrating the export reach and operational maturity of Iran's unmanned systems. In the Ukrainian theater, the Mohair 6 has played a critical role in coordinating Russian strike operations. The UAV has been used to provide real-time reconnaissance and targeting data for Geran-2 and Geran-3 kamikaze drone attacks against Odesa. Acting as an airborne command node, the Mohair 6 enables layered drone strikes by guiding loitering munitions onto infrastructure and logistical targets with increased precision. Following a Ukrainian strike several days ago, published on the night December 31st, Russia launched a large-scale retaliatory attack on the Odesa region. According to reports published by the military summary Telegram channel, the strike resulted in widespread power outages across the region. The loss of electricity indicated that energy infrastructure was deliberately targeted, consistent with Russia's pattern of applying systemic pressure rather than conducting isolated tactical strikes. Later on the same day, this doctrine was on full display. Geran drones struck power generation facilities in Odesa, the Nova Poshta rail logistics hub, and port infrastructure across Yuzhny and Chornomorsk. The region plunged into blackout conditions. Grain terminals burned, oil containers were hit. The strikes followed Ukrainian actions earlier in the week, signaling a clear retaliatory logic rather than indiscriminate escalation. What distinguishes this campaign is not just its scale, but its tactical sophistication. Russian forces have refined a hybrid blockade doctrine built around saturation and deception. Decoy drone swarms precede strike packages, triggering Ukrainian air defenses and draining interceptor stocks. Electronic warfare systems based in Crimea disrupt radar coverage and targeting loops. When Patriots, NASAMS, or naval harpoon systems engage, they do so under conditions of sensor overload and incomplete situational awareness. The geopolitical reverberations extend beyond Ukraine. Turkey has tightened enforcement of the Montreux Convention, restricting naval movements as stray munitions land near Romanian Constanta. Bulgarian ports have issued heightened alerts. NATO planners now treat the Western Black Sea not as a rear area, but as an exposed flank. According to assessments from the Understanding War, the December 29th strike campaign reflects President Putin's intent to navalize the conflict, echoing historical Black Sea blockades where maritime control dictated ground outcomes. Western debate has intensified over supplying Ukraine with longer-range systems, such as ATACMS and Storm Shadow missiles specifically for strikes into Crimea. Yet this path carries escalation risks. Any damage to Bulgarian or Romanian assets would force NATO into decisions it has carefully avoided since 2022. Moscow appears acutely aware of this threshold, calibrating pressure just below collective response while maintaining operational momentum. As escalation thresholds harden and direct confrontation remains politically constrained, both sides are adapting to a prolonged contest defined less by decisive breakthroughs and more by sustained pressure. Looking ahead to 2030, the trajectory suggests a frozen naval conflict rather than resolution. Ukraine's continued investment in drone countermeasures may impose costs on Russia, particularly as Moscow manages overstretch across multiple theaters. Yet the broader lesson is already written. Unmanned systems have redefined maritime dominance. Drone swarms now substitute for fleets. Economic warfare is delivered by loitering munitions rather than blockading cruisers. Russia's Black Sea campaign is not flawless. Adaptive defenses have limited its decisiveness, but it has fundamentally altered the rules of engagement. By turning ports into pressure points and shipping into leverage, Moscow has demonstrated how modern naval power operates without ships in sight. The Black Sea has become a laboratory for 21st century warfare, and Odesa sits at its center. So, that's for today's episode. See you on the upcoming updates.